start with second part of Garbha Sharir, right? So we did the first part till process of formation of Garbh. Now we'll start with role of three dosh and Panch Mahabhut in fetal practice. So we already did this shlok in the first part. Tam chetna avasthitam vayur vibhajati तेज एनं पचति आपः क्लेदयति पृथ्वी सहन्ति आकाशं विवर्धति एवं विवर्धितः स यदाहस्तपादजीवाघ्राणकर्णितं वादी अभिरङ्गैर उपेत स तदा अंगशरीर इति संज्ञा लभते. So this is the shlok of Sushrut Sharir Sthan 5. What does it state? It tells us the role of Panchamahabhut. So Shukra and Shonit will get united in Garbha Sharir and get combined with Atma, soul, Prakriti, Ashprakriti, Shodash Vikar is known as Garbh. This transformation of Garbh into Sharir needs some activities of the Panch Mahabhut. So Vayu Mahabhut, what does it do? Vayur Vibhajati. Vayur Mahabhut divides this mass possessing Chetna into various Ang Pratyang, divides basically. Vibhajati, vibhajan is division. Ang pratyang, dosh, dhatu, mal, till the period of parturition. So it helps in differentiation of tissues, division of tissues. All right, division of the physiological basis, the dhatus, the dosha, the mala. All right. Then we have Tej Mahabhut. Tejah enam pachati. Tej Mahabhut cooks it up. Metabolism and all, we can relate it with that. And give them different form by the process of transformation. All the energy related transformation processes happen due to stage. There are changes in color and appearance. For any kind of transformation, cooking is necessary. Energy is necessary for change to happen, right? So that heat energy, that other forms of energy, energy changes from one form to another. This is the law of conservation of energy. So all this will be applied to the Tej Mahabhut. In case of Garbh, it is done by Tej Mahabhut. Apah Kledhyati. We already know the purpose of water, the role of water at the time of cooking and division process carried out, like Pachan and Vibhajan. So in all that process, there is need of clay as well. Agni Mahabhut respectively, Aap Mahabhut moistens it so as to minimize the dehydration or dryness. Prithvi Mahabhut, Prithvi Sahanti. So Prithvi, what does it do? It hardens and stabilizes structures, right? Gives it proper shape to the Ang Pratyang of Garbh. So Prithvi just binds everything up. Now we have Akash Mahabhut. Akasham Vivardhati evam Vivardhitah. So Akash Mahabhut, what does it do? It enlarges the size of the organs. It helps in growth and development. So it also creates hollow spaces in the organs and channels so as to make the body light, stable, and helps in the srotas formation. Right? Srotas is also important for the channelizing vahan of various dhatus and other things like an. In modern point of view, also, we can see division process of Vayu Mahabhut as 2-cell stage, 4-cell stage, 8-cell stage, then 16-cell stage, embryo, morula, blastocyst. We have already studied that in our lower classes. So all that Vibhajan is due to my Vayu Mahabhut. Transformation process of Tej Mahabhut as formation of germ layers. So transformation, like germ layers, transform into structures, just like amnion, chorion, right? various organs as well. Moistening process of gel mahabut as amniotic fluid, right? That provides nutrition to the growing embryo or fetus. And amniotic fluid, basically, amniotic cavity containing amniotic fluid is Aap Mahabut or Jal Mahabut. Hardening process of Prithvi Mahabut as embryo gets proper shape into various Ang Pratyang. So hardening shape by Prithvi Mahabut. Organs, enlarging process of Akash Mahabut as formation of cavities. Uh, if you remember, we have studied true coelom, false coelom, pseudocoel, so all these cavities also. Blood vessels and hollow organs in our body, the channels in our body, right? Then Vata, Pitta, and Shleshma are the causes. We were going to study the role as well. So Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, what do they do? Cause the origin of the body. These three dosha are formed from Panch Mahabhut. Again, Vata is made from Akash, Vayu, Pitta from Agni, Shleshma from Jal Prithvi, right? So, made from Panch Mahabhut. Various acharyas say it differently. These doshas retain in the body. They're also naturally present in Shukra Shonit, Shukram Saumyam. Do you remember Shukram Saumyam? Artavam Agneyam. So, Ushna Swabhava Vastav and Saumya or Sheet Swabhava of Shukra. Hence, all the three doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, are important for the development of good. So, all these are the role of Panchamahabhut and doshas in the development or formation of gut, right? Bij bhag, bij avyav. What's that? In above verse, Acharya narrated, Yasya yasya hi ang avyavasya bije bij bhag utpattam bhavti tasya tasya ang avyavasya vikrite upjayate न उपजायते च अनुक्तापात, right? So, Charak narrated about congenital anomalies. Very important. You don't need to learn the shloka, just understand the meaning. Bij means Shukra and Shonit means Stri Bij, Artha, right? Bij Bhag means the part of Bij from which Ang Pratyanga are formed. So, this is Bij, Shukra and Artha, right? This will be Shukra, this will be Artha. Now, the part of the beach from which Ang Pratyang develop, like limb buds will start developing, that part will be Bij Avyav. Okay? Alright. Then Manushya Bijam Hi Pratyang Bij Bhag Samudayatmakam Swasadrish Pratyang Samudaya Rupa Purush Janakam Chakrapani Smata. You don't need to learn that again. Manushya Bij is a symbol of conglomeration of Bij Bhag of all Pritang of human body and it begets similar offspring. So here we can understand a bit like chromosomes. We can relate to a chromosome. Like there are fixed number of chromosomes in human, right? So the Bij Bhag, like there will be only four limbs that all information is contained in the Bij Bhag, right? So a bit we can relate it with chromosomes because the number of chromosomes will maintain the ploidy in human race and that will be different in different species, different organisms, right? So, and begets similar offspring. So this information is coded in the chromosome. So that is the Bij Bhag you can relate to. Human beings give birth to human being, cow gives birth to cow, horse gives birth to horse because beej of every animal contains specific beej bhag, right? And beej bhag avyav. So all this information is contained in Bij Bhag and Bij Avyav, Bij Bhag Avyav, which leads to formation of same species. It can be considered as law of heredity. So here you can relate it with modern. Though it is said that human beings give birth to human beings, practically offspring born from blind or deaf mother, father, not necessarily should be blind or deaf because it is an acquired trait, right? It's not present at the genetic level. It is because the time of fetal development, if there is vitiated or damaged Bij Bhag of any young pratyam, if there would have been information coding for genetic information coding for the blindness or deafness, then it would have been like that. The Bij Bhag would contain that information and it would have passed to the offspring. But here the case is not like that. The information is not known to pass as such. Okay, the information is not genetic, and then there is possibility of congenital deformity in that particular unpretend. Therefore, if there is vitiated Bij Bhag in blind or deaf mother father, then only the offspring will be born blind or deaf. So, vitiated Bij Bhag is very important, right? Just remember vitiated Bij Bhag. Now, just related to genetic information, right? This way you'll be able to relate that well. All right. Acharya Sushruta has also given opinion in the same reference. That is Sri Punsayo Krisht Doshat Drisht Shonit Shukryo. So Drisht Shonit Shukryo. Yadpatyam Tayor Jatam Geyam Tadapi Kushthitam. So if the person is vitiated of Kusht, Stri or Purush, but doesn't have a Dusht Shonit Shukra, then it will not be passed. But if the Shonit and Shukr, like the Bij Avyav, are Bij Bhag Avyav are vitiated or Dushit, then the fetus will also have that abnormality, right? Producing dosha. If Shukra and Shonit are vitiated because of Kusht producing dosha, the offspring born from them should also be suffered from Kusht, right? But if not contained, then the offspring will not be born of Kusht. So it is clear that if bees are pure, then only offspring produced by them will be pure. Healthy and unhealthy condition of mother and father also affect the offspring. We already know that. The effect of healthy and unhealthy condition enters the offspring through Bij. Hence, some Kulaj Pravritti hereditary also enter the offspring. So, mother's Bij carry her own as well as forefathers' qualities. That's why there are pedigree charts, Remember pedigree charts? So, they also contain that information. They are of great significance in the diseases in the sexually transmitted diseases as well as autosomal diseases, right? Sex-linked diseases and autosomal diseases. All these qualities get carried to their offspring. Shvitra, Madhume, these are hereditary. Okay, diabetes and leukoderma are considered to be hereditary. According to Mordecai, Stree bees means ovum, Purush bees means sperm, and we can consider chromosomes, right? So I was already correlating it to chromosomes and genes. So Bij Bhag is all the genetic information, including chromosomes. Linga Vinishya, so sex determination. Tatra Shukra Bahulyat Puman. If the Shukra will be more, then it will be Puman, abundance of Shukra. Puman is a male child. Artav Bahulyat Stri. If there will be abundance of Artav, then it will be a girl, a female. Samyad Ubheor Napunsakam Iti. So Samyad, if both of these are equal, then the offspring will be Napunsak, right? This has been told in the shlok. Rakten Kanyam Adhikain Putram. According to Acharya Chark, at the time of conception, predominance of Arthav leads to female child. Shukrain Tain Dvividhi Kritain. Predominance of Shukra leads to male child. Bijain Kanyam Cha Sutanch Sute Yatha Swabijani Tarani Adhikain. When the zygote is split into two, the twins are formed. In case male and female characters of the same are determined by relative predominance of Shukra and Artav respectively. So they are talking about the quantity of Shukra and Artav during fertilization, or you can say when they combine. So, but in modern we relate it to X and Y offsprings, right? So a part of their thinking at that time was correct. If the man is dominant in desire of begetting offspring, also in physical as well as mental health, then Garb will be male. If mental basically desire of a man is dominant, right? If man wants to have an offspring, so that will be male. If women is dominant, then it will be female. This is another point of view. Then, if the conception takes place on even days, we have already discussed in the last video, because of the Ritukal is of around 12 days, like 4 to 16 days. So, in these 12 days, if the 4th, 6th, 8th, 10th, or 12th day the female conceives, then it will be male, but on the odd day, it will be female. Stree beach is not predominant on even days and Purush beach is not predominant on odd days. That's why they're correlating the two concepts. Purush beach produced from the right testes is having predominant male characteristics, and Stree beach produced from the left ovary is having predominant female characteristics, which leads to birth of male and female child respectively. This is another point of view. You can just learn one or two point of views to write in the exam. The pregnant woman in whom milk appears first in her right breast, the right side of the abdomen is bigger, throbbing appears first in her right leg, whose desires are for things which bear names of masculine gender, just like names of masculine gender like okay, Raja, so all these things, king, mango, so this way. Who sees Padma Utpal? Padma Utpal are the varieties of Kamal, lotus, Kumud, Amratak, etc. in her dream, which have names of masculine gender only, whose face and color are pleasant, should be understood as one giving birth to a male. Okay, a son, a male child. The pregnant woman who has features opposite, that is considered to give birth to a female child. It's mentioned in Charak. The pregnant woman whose both flanks are depressed, abdomen indrawn in its front, and absence of these features mentioned earlier of male and female child should be understood at one given to Yunsh, means Napunsak, not a male, neither a male nor a female. The pregnant woman whose abdomen has depressed in its center and appears like Droni, like water trough or a valley, should be understood as one given birth to twins. Okay, so there will be twins. According to modern science, we already know 23 pairs of chromosomes, 22 are autosomes, one is sex chromosome, which decides the sex of the fetus. X and Y, if XX combine, then there's a female. If XY combine, there's a male. Hermaphrodites are also there, sometimes male with feminine features and female with masculine features. Okay. Then we have fetal development, one of the very, very, very important topics, Masanumasic Garbh Vriddhi. So, the month-wise development includes the first month, Prathme Masi Kallam Jayate. You should learn this slow from Sushruta Sharir. You'll also it will also be helpful in gynae. Prathme Masi Kallam Jayate. So, first month, the development, it is formed as Kalal. So, morula-like structure. Mass. Kalal is basically mass. So, that is created during the first month. According to Acharya Charak, सर्व गुणवान गर्भत्व मापन्न प्रथमे मासी समूर्छित सर्व धातु कलुषितः खेट भूतो. So this word needs to be remembered. Bhavte avyakt vigrah. So the vigrah, the division of organs and all will be not properly visible. Avyakta. Sad sad bhutang avyavah. So the avyav, the parts will be hidden basically. Right? According to Acharya Charak, during the first month of development, it is completely mixed up and made turbid. Khet bhuto is turbid with all dhatu like a phlegm. So this is the meaning of khet bhuto, having unmanifest form, right? This is important. You should be aware of this. Kalalam and khet bhut, right? It is having all the body parts in manifest or unmanifest forms. So basically minute forms, the limb buds will be just minute, just appearing, not visible mostly. Okay, can be manifested or unmanifested form. Dvitiya Mas, the second month will include all these changes. द्वितीय शीत ऊष्मणा द्वितीय शीत ऊष्मा अनिलैर अभिप्रपच्यमानानां महाभूतानां संघातो घन संजायते यदि पिंड पुमान स्त्री चेत पेशी नपुंसकम चेद अर्बुदम इति. So according to Acharya Sushrut, what's the second month includes the fetus, the embryo becomes hard mass due to aggregation of Panch Mahabhut getting cooked up by cough, heat, and cough, pitta, and vata. If this mass takes the shape of a round figure, it will grow as male fetus. If it assumes as an elongated shape, just like a muscle, a peshi, it will grow as a female fetus. Yadi pind puman. This must be remembered at all cost. Okay. Yadi pind puman stri chet peshi. And if it will be like an arbud, like a mass of tumor or irregular shaped mass, then it will be napunsak, yunch. All right. Acharya Charak says, Dvitiya Masi Ghana Sampadyate Pindha Peshe Arbudva. So similar verse by Acharya Charak. Tatra Ghana Purusha Peshi Stri Arbuda Napunsakam. Tritiya Mas. Tritiya Hastapad Shirsam Panch Pindaka Nirvartante. So 5 limb buds will appear. Ang Pratyang Vibhagash. So the division of Ang Pratyang, the limbs will be there, but Sukshmo Bhavti. That division will be too Sukshma, that will be too minute, basically. In the third month, 5 buds Two arms, two legs, head will appear of the Shadang Sharir. Basically, all the Ang and Pratyang are minute and undifferentiated, right? According to Acharya Charak, Tritiya Masi Sarvindriyani Sarvang Ang Avyavasht Yog Pader Nabhir Nivartate. So all body parts formed simultaneously. All Sarvindriya Sarvang Avyav will be appearing according to Acharya Charak. Fourth month, Chaturthe Sarvang Pratyang Vibhaga Pravyakto Bhakti. So now the Vibhag, the major and minor body parts become clearly demarcated. Pravyakto Bhakti means clearly demarcated. Garbha Hriday Pravyakti Bhavat Chetana Dhatur Abhivyakto Bhavti. So basically, the Chetana is the desires, the um, voice of the soul will start appearing, right? Because of clear development of the heart of the fetus, Chetana Dhatu, that is the consciousness, Atma or soul, becomes expressive of desires as the heart being seat of Chetana. Alright. Then we have Chaturthe Masi Sthiratvam Apadyate Garbha, according to Acharya Charak. Also, there's a very important point, very, very, very important. Let's highlight it with a different color. Dohridini. In which month does Dohridini appear? In the fourth month of pregnancy. In the fourth month, the fetus expresses desires in the objects of sense organs. The pregnant woman is thereafter known as Dohridini because there are two desires, one of her own heart and one of her child's heart. So, because of having two hearts, by not fulfilling these desires, the women will give birth to a child who is neither either a humpback, distorted arms, lame, inactive, dwarf, or distorted eyes with no eyes at all. Hence, whichever thing a woman desires, that should be fulfilled at all costs. Okay? Only after getting her desires fulfilled, she gives birth to a son who will be strong and long-lived. So, whatever offspring she has, that would be healthy only if these desires will be fulfilled. According to Charak, fourth month, the fetal attains stability, and as such, the pregnant woman feels particularly heavy in the body because obviously the child will be having some weight. Panchama, Panchame Manah Pratibudtaram Bhakti, according to Sushruta. Panchame Masi Garbhasya Mas Shonit Upchyo Bhavti Adhikam Anebhyo Masebhya. So according to Sushruta, during the fifth month, mind becomes clearly manifest and noticeable. According to Charak, okay, there are 2 points. The mass and shonit of the fetus is more as compared to other months. Hence, the pregnant women becomes lean and thin. So all that mass and shonit, all that food, nourishment which the pregnant woman receives goes to her child and nourishes him or her and the development of mass and shonit, flesh and blood of the fetus. Shashta mass, Shashte buddhi, very easy. So, according to Sushrut, during the 6 months, the fetus gets buddhi, intellect starts developing or has developed completely. Charak says Shashte Masti Garbhasya Bal Varna Upchayo. So there are two important points. Bal Varna Upchayo. Hafte Adhikam Anebhyo Masebhya. Anebhya Masebhya is as compared to other months. The Bal and Varna. Bal and Varna means the strength and complexion starts developing as compared to other months. Saptame Mas. Saptame Mas is Saptame Sarvang Pratyang Vibhaga Pravyaktatara. So, seventh month differentiation of all major minor parts becomes more clear. Saptame Masi Garbha Sarve Bhaver Api Ayate. So basically, according to Acharya Charak, during the seventh month, the fetal is developed more in respect of all identities. Sarvair Bhav, okay, all entities. Hence, pregnant woman becomes overall exhausted because all the nutrition she acquires getting, will be helpful in developing the fetus. Ashtamas, Ashtame, Asthiri Bhavti Ojah. So this is very, very, very important. Asthir Oj. There's Asthir Oj in the Ashtamas. We can relate it to preterm pregnancy. In the eighth month, Oj becomes unstable. If birth takes place, the fetus does not survive because of absence of a stable Oj, basically. And Narith, snatching away their portion. Narith is like demons, they consider it as a bit spiritual concept in it. So the Narith should be offered oblation of cooked rice along with meat. This is what is told. Acharya Charak says that during the eighth month, the fetus and mother exchange oj mutually. Sometimes it's with fetus, sometimes it's with mother through the nutrient carrying vessels, basically placenta, because of the immaturity of the fetus. Hence, during this period, the pregnant woman sometimes become exhilarated and depressed. Sometimes she becomes very happy, sometimes too sad because of that shifting of the oj. Similarly, the fetus, which cannot express himself herself fully. So then the delivery of the baby in this month should not be there because of instability of oj. So it is considered to be a calamity. Navam Mas, Navam Dasham, Ekadash, Dwadashanam, Anyatam Asmin Jayate, Ato Anyatha Vikari Bhavti. So Sushruta says, Acharya Sushruta says that 9th, 10th, 11th or 12th month, the delivery of the baby should be, the parturition should be done. The, otherwise, the fetus is vitiated, right? But Acharya Charak says, after the beginning of ninth month till the 10th month is the period of parturition. This is the limit of this period. Overstay of the fetus in the womb is abnormal. Okay. Garbh Utpadak Samagri. So, what are the factors for the conception, basically? You know, factors for the formation of garbh. The factors for formation of garbh are known as Garbh Utpadak Samagri. Samagri is ingredients, basically, if we talk about cooking. According to Sushrut, Ritu, Kshetra, Ambu, Bij are the most important, right? When these four factors come together in a proper way, they give rise to the formation of fetus surely. Just like season, Kshetra, water, and seed, they come together to give rise to sprout. The same way, the Ritu, the right Ritu Kal, basically. The Ritu Kal I told you about 4 to 16 days of the Ritucharya of the menstrual cycle. That is the time for conception. Okay, when the body is prepared and the Artha, the ovum is present. Ritukal starts from 12th year of age and stops at 50 years, menarche and menopause. Conception is possible only during this fertile period. Ritukal is the duration of 12 days. Ritu astu Dwadash Ratram Bhakti Drishtartava. After menstrual blood flow. So after menstrual blood flow, the 12 days basically. I told you the 4th to 16th day. That is Ritukal. Because first 3 days will be in the Drishtartav, the menstrual phase. Okay. It is counted from the 4th day of menses. So clear? Though the rainy season is suitable for the formation of sprout, actual rain shower is necessary. Similarly, for the formation of garbh through Ritukal is suitable. Actually, menstrual blood flow and matured sewage is also necessary. So, menstrual flow clears the pathway, cleans the pathway, and then the conception is going to happen. This period can be considered as ovulation. In this period, matured ovum is thrown out from the matured Graafian follicle of the ovary, which is proper time for conception. Kshetra. Kshetra is the place. So, Garbhashya, the uterus should be perfect where it needs to be implanted and developed. So, Garbhashya's akriti is known to be of Rohit Matsyasya. Mukham Bhavati Rupatah. So, this is also a shlok you'll learn in Gynae, the final graph. So, Garbh lies inside it, should attain its full growth. Here, Garbhashya, that is uterus, is known to be Kshetras, and all the other female reproductive organs, they should be patent, they should be intact, they should be healthy, so as to have a good Kshetra. Ambu is for the growth of sprout, water is necessary, so same way, nutrients, Ras Dhatu and other nutrients are necessary for the formation of a good fetus. Garbh Nabhi Nadi, umbilical cord, okay, nutrition is carried, and then placenta also helps in oxygen and other nutritional exchanges. Beej. Beej is also necessary, Shukra and Shona. Purush Beej Shukra, seventh dhatu of the body, we already studied in the last lecture. Sphatikabham Dravam Snigdham Madhur Madhugandhicha, we already did that in detail. Sri Beej as well we did in detail. Shashasrik Gunja Falsa Varnam. Alright, now we have Garbhakar Bhav. Matrit, Pitrit, Atmat, Satamyat, Rasata, and Satvata. So all these six bhavs are important. Formation of Garbh takes place by aggregation of entities like mother, father, Atma, soul, Satme, suitability or habits, Ras, nutrition, Sattva, mind. All the different Ang Pratyang being originated from each entities are as follows. So there are different organs, Ang Pratyangas, which appear from different bhavs. So what are these? Matrij bhav. They, Matrij bhav contains mass, Shonit. You can get MCQs on this, very important. Which bhav, which organ is made by which bhav? So you need to learn that. Mass, Shonit, Med, Hriday, Nabhi, Yakrit, Pliha, Antrik, Gud, etc. derived from the mother. So all the Kosthang, you can say. You can say Kosthang, all the vital organs. All right. So all the vital organs plus muscles, blood, and made, majja. So four dhatus plus vital organs are derived from mother. Pitrij bhav, all the hair related parts plus strong parts. Okay. Kesh, Shramshru, that mustache, loam, hair on the body, nak, strong part, asthi, strong part, dant, strong part, sira, strong but hollow, snayu, hollow, dhamni, hollow, varet, obviously semen, that will be Pithrij bhav. So, hair plus strong plus hollow structures will be by father. Then Atmaj bhav. Atma, soul related, Indriya, Gyan, Vigyan, knowledge, sense organs, Sukh, Dukh are derived from Atma. So these can be related, soul related, Sukh, Dukh, knowledge, senses, all right. Then Satamyaj Bhav, basically the, what was Satmay? Satmay was suitability. The suitability, all the bhav which have suitability or habit related to habit. These are Virya, Valor, Arogya, Bal, then we have Varn. Bal, Varn, Arogya. Medh, intelligence. These are all Satmaya Bhav. These are also important. Rasaj Bhav, all due to nutritional bhav. Okay. Bal, Varn, Sthiti. So Bal, Varn are present in both of them, Rasaj and Satmaj. And its destruction are derivations of Ras Dhatu. Satvaj Bhav, short, as, astikya. So basically, belief in God is astikya. Scriptures, etc. Ved. So all these are performing fire sacrifices, Agni, Bali, Havan, all these things. Yajna are Satvaj Bhav. These are all related to spiritual bhavas. Okay, so spiritual characteristics are there. Now we have Garbha Vriddhi Kar Bhav. So what are the bhavs, factors which help in the growth and development of Garbha, the fetus? These are Panch Mahabhut, Trigun, Satvarajtam, Panch Indriya, Atma. All these bhav lead to growth of girth and keep it alive. Growth of fetus is brought about by Ras and Marut Adman, inflated by Vat. So Ras and Vat. Ras first dhatu, that's very essential. All the dhatus will be made by Ras Rasadraktam, Tato Masam, Masan Medas, Tato Asthija, Sthano Maja Tat Shukram, Shukrat Garbha Prajayate. So all these will make Shukr as an end dhatu and Shukr will be forming Garbh. So the first dhatu is Anras, Ras dhatu. Okay, Shukr to Garbh. So all these are important. Marutadman means inflated by Vat. Inside the Nabi, there is a seat of Jatharagni, which gets ignited by Vayu. So you've seen that whenever we are going, we initiate a fire, then we also blow some amount of air into it. So that's called sandhukshan, right? Vayu says sandhukshan. So all these things increase the fire. If there's very high flowing wind, high velocity of wind, then it would blow away the fire, right? But if there's little amount with the required amount of pressure, it will increase the fire. So same way, Vayu will increase the heat of Jatharagni. Okay? Vayu enters the body of the gird where it creates various srotas, vat, entering into srotas in the dhatus of the gird causes their dilation, thus providing space for its growth. So srotas channels are also created using Vayu. The Garbh having Bij, Stri Bij, Purush Bij, Panchmahabhut, minute Atma grows into the womb because of Aharas of mother. So all these are the factors. According to Acharya Charak, there are following bhavs. Excellence of the procreative factors like mother, father, all these six factors. Excellence of mother's conduct, proper mechanism of nourishment, upsne, upsved heating from the mother, required heat is required in the uterus. Passage of time, this term basically 9 months, the term 9 months plus minus 10 days. Swabhav Samsiddhi, natural phenomena, the environment and all should be clear. We already did this flow very well. Then nourishment of girth. Girth receives the nourishment by sense food of mother, rest dhatu of the mother, carried out in two ways. First 3 months by Upsnehan and after 3 months by placenta because the placenta will be formed. and Nabhi Nadi, umbilical cord. Nourishment of gut in the first 3 months. The Upsne part is being explained over here. Way through the Rasve Dhamni, which are spread obliquely in all parts of the body of Garb and it survives. So, Upsne. According to modern science, while traveling embryo down the fallopian tube and the upper part of uterine cavity, embryo receives nutrition partly from the substances stored within ovum. Ovum has all the cytoplasm, so it has all the food reserve basically, and partly by diffusion from the uterine secretions. But after the formation of blastocyst and the implantation, embryo needs additional nutrition. So the zona pellucida gets disappeared and gets implanted into the uterine endometrium. Then it receives its nutrition from placenta. The, After third month, according to Sushruta, there is formation of apara, which is related to placenta in modern, and Garbhanabhi umbilical cord in the process of fetal development. This is connected to Rasve Nadi, Rasva Srotas of mother, vessels carrying Ras Dhatu. This conveys the essence of food and vitality from the mother to fetus, nourished by this material. So, according to Charak, all the Ankratanga are formed simultaneously during the third month. So, thereafter, the garb gets its nourishment partially by Upsne and then umbilical cord and apara. Loam coop as well. Hair follicle diffusion happens from here. The cord is attached to umbilicus. The placenta is attached to the cord on one side and indirectly to the mother's heart on the other. So basically, the circulation of mother. Mother's heart floods the placenta with nutritive fluid through pulsating blood vessels. That nutrition provides strength and complexion as it contains all essential factors. Two umbilical arteries, one umbilical vein. In pregnant women, nutrition takes three courses. First for nourishment of her own body, second for lactation, third for the growth of fetus. So one third part to all this is divided by the nutrition. That's why the intake should be appropriate, right? For the pregnant women. So this way girl receives nourishment through the sense of food of mother. Now we'll talk about apara placenta. You don't need to learn this slow at this level. The structure which acts as a medium for transportation of nutrients from the mother to fetus and elimination of waste products is known as apara. So exchange of nutrients. Sushrut, apara takes place. Formation of apara, according to Acharya Sushrut, is the channels of Artav gets blocked by pressure from the fetus, hence menstrual flow is not seen in pregnant women. Thus obstructed below, the flow moves upward and helps the development of organ known as apara. The remaining portion moves still upwards, reaches the breast. Hence, pregnant women will have enlarged and elevated breasts. So, all the lactation, nutrition for lactation will also be there. And the formation of placenta. As per modern science, placenta is a flat disc-shaped soft structure which is formed inside the uterus. This develops during the third month of pregnancy. One surface of it adheres to the uterine wall, other is attached to the umbilical cord, further attached to the umbilicus of the fetus. Right? Placenta is supplied with the network of capillaries, both arterial venous, which help circulation of blood from the mother to fetus. These are fetal arteries and veins. Function Garbha Nadi umbilical cord attached to the apara, and the apara is connected to the mother heart indirectly. The sense of food reaches the gut, so it's all a repetition of what we have studied earlier. Garbha Nadi umbilical cord forms the connection between Ras Rakt Samvahan, circulation, of the mother and the fetus. All right, the first 3 months of uterine life, the girl gets its nourishment by upsne, but as the development proceeds, it needs more nourishment. So upsne can be considered as diffusion and the stores in the ovum. But after that, there's the formation of apara and nabhi. This takes place about sixth week in intrauterine life, umbilical cord nabhi. This is attached to the umbilicus of the fetus to one end and to the placenta on the other end, which is indirectly connected with the heart of mother. Function क्या है नाभि नाड़ी of the fetus that is connected with the Rasvaya nadi of the mother, convey a sense of food. Again, repetition. We have already done it. Avyav utpatti. So this is very important. This is a whole shlok. You can learn it or understand it for MCQs. Okay, you can, if you can't learn the shlok, you just learn the phrases for MCQs. This is very, very, very important. Okay, this whole is very, very important. All right. So, Ang Avyav Utpatti. Yakrit and Pliha are formed from Shonit. Garbhasya Yakrit Plihano Shonitajo. So, where does liver and spleen develop from? Shonit, according to Ayurveda. Okay. Fufus, lungs. Shonit Fain Prabhava Fufusa. The lungs of the fetus are formed by Shonit Fain, the froth of blood. Unduk. Now, unduk, that is cecum, is formed from the kit waste of Shonit. So, Shonita kit prabhava undukah. Antra and Gud. Prasad of Asrik. So, Prasad Bhag is the essence of Asrik together with Shleshma while undergoing cooking by Pith. So, all these parts. Prasad of Asrik, Shonit, Shleshma, and Pith is traversed by Vayu. So Vayu is also there. Asrik, Shleshma, then Pith, then Vayu. All these are included. Like for MCQ, you'll get all these words. From this activity, to Antra, small and large intestine, Gud and Basti, all the lower pelvic organs, right? Lower abdominal organs basically are developed. Lower abdominal organs, including intestines. Jiva. So, jiva is formed by the essence of kaf, shonit, and mass while undergoing cooking carried out in the abdomen. Just like essence of gold gets formed by blowing air on the molten gold. Now, srotas, vayu combined with ushma creates srotas. So, vayu, because it's a hollow space. So, vayu, along with heat, will create pores, channels, passages. Peshi. Vayu enters into the pishit muscle mass and divides it into peshi. So, Vayu again. Sira and Snayu, the ligaments and veins, you can say. Sira. From the anxious portion of Med. Med Sneha. All right. Sira arises from Mridu Pak, mild cooking, and Snayu arises from Kharpak. You'll study these terms in Rash Shastra as well. So same meaning but different contexts. Ashya. Ashya will arise from residing for some time at certain places in the fetal mass. Vayu makes for the formation of Ashya. Ashya is hollow organs, the parts which contain space. Ashya is space. So the parts which contain space inside them. These are hollow organs like the koshtang, the stomach, liver, all those things. But we'll not consider liver like stomach because it's hollow from inside. The vital organs, the lungs, but mostly they are the organs of GIT because they are mostly hollow. Okay. Vrik, because lungs have already been explained. Vrik. So Rakta Med Prasadat Vriko. From the essence of Rakt and Med, two Vrik kidneys are formed. Vrishan. Two Vrishan are formed from Mas, Asrik, Kaf and Med. Hriday, Shonit, Kaf and Pranvay Dhamni. Tvacha, Shukra Shonit, cooked by heat gives rise to formation of tvacha, just like formation of cream when milk is boiled. This you will also learn in Tvacha Sharir. So this is an important श्लोक. तस्य खलु एवं प्रवृतस्य शुक्रशोणितस्य अभिपच्यमानस्य क्षीरस्य एव संतानिका सप्त त्वचा भवन्ति. So 7 types of skin you'll study according to Acharya Sushruta. Anga Pratyang Utpatti. Now, the various opinions. These are also important for MCQs. Kumar, Kumarashir, Bhardwaj, and Shonak. According to them, head develops first. Only this is important in all this. Kankayan, Balik, Kritavirya. So, which Acharya and which Avyav? That's important, okay? They say Hriday develops first. Parashar and Bhadrakapya say Nabhi develops first in a grave. Badish and Markanda says Shakha, that are limbs, extremities. Subhuti Gautam, Madhya Sharir. Bhadrashonak, Pakvashya and Guda. Vaideha Janak says Indriya, seat of Buddhi, Indriya develop first. Kashyap and Marich say Mana develops first. Dhanvantari says all of these are not correct. All the ang develop simultaneously. Ang and pratyang develop simultaneously. So this is the most acceptable one. Okay, according to Acharya Dhanvantari. Okay, all the ang pratyang develop simultaneously. Charak, all the ang pratyang develop simultaneously. Again the same. Bhav Mishra at the same time. Initial stage, they are very minute, but then growth is attained. So this was all about Garbha Sharir. I hope you understood it.